My name is Angela Hill. I
Hmm.
am the president and creative director for Insitrio. We are a graphic design and branding agency.
Oh, right on. Now, how did you get involved in the Haiti project?
I've known Don Mira, an amazing photographer, for a very long time, and he had been working on a series of projects, really trying to tell stories from different parts of the world. And what happened was he came back from this trip and he was telling me about these amazing people and the conditions that he saw there and all of the photography. And we were discussing it. It really seemed like a book that really brought all of these images together would be the best way to tell that story, to translate that experience into something tangible that people could hold, um, to evoke a visceral, emotional reaction that you can't necessarily get from looking at one photo or watching a movie or talking to someone. But you can when you can hold a book in your hands and you can flip through and you can start to engage with these people who you haven't met, but you're meeting it through the eyes of the photographer.
Right, right. And when you started building and when you started putting that book together, I mean, what was that process like? You had mentioned a few times that the process was a bit challenging. There was a fair amount of work.
Right. It was incredibly challenging, I think, because there were so many images. There were so many quality images. There were so many great stories being told in these images. And it was very difficult to sort through them all and decide, well, which one should make it into the book and which one gets left behind. I mean, not that they're being left behind, but it's almost like they're all your babies and you want them to be in the book as part of this amazing family, but some of them you had to cut out. And that process was really, really hard, And then the second piece of the process that was equally difficult was, okay, so now we have these series of images. And how do we pair them together? How do we match them together? And so one of the ways we did that was in terms of context, right? The different aspects of people's lives. We also did it in terms of color, interesting color pairings. We did it in terms of the context of miniature stories on spreads for individuals, right? So you might see an image of a little girl who's writing at a chalkboard and she's all alone, and that's paired with an image of three little girls' feet, probably after Sunday school. And so you get to get a sense of these people and their lives and the different aspects of their lives and how they're all interrelated.
Right. Wow. So you came up with three sections in
Right.
that, right? And was it you had? I remember you telling me about how you had put them like all on the floor, like printed them all out.
Right.
Is that correct?
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, we basically took over one of the rooms in our office and we spread them all out because it's just one of those things where when you have that many images, you can't possibly look at them through one device, whether it's your monitor or your computer. You physically have to put them out and start seeing patterns in terms of lighting or in terms of color or in terms of maybe it's a portrait, maybe it's a candid shot, maybe it's a workshop, maybe it's a play shot. How do we pair all these images together? And you can't have that contextual pairing until you lay them all out. And so that was a very important part of the process.
Right. So when we had the event at Eau Cortez and the book had been printed and put together and it was on display, what was your feeling? What was your reaction? I guess it was about a year ago, a little over a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was a sense of pride. I was really so thrilled that all of this hard work was able to come together and in addition to the book and the posters that you created, you also had the slideshow and the talk that you gave the people. I really think it helped them to understand this part of the world that probably none of them are ever going to go to, right? And the way these people's lives are impacted by their daily living conditions they'll probably never have that experience or never go somewhere where they would have that experience. So it was really great. It was very fulfilling for me to be at this event and see and hear you share your experience and these images with these people, really fundamentally changing their perspective in terms of, oh, wow, okay, I had no idea. Oh, there's an orphan problem, or oh, there's poverty, or oh, there's water issues, or there's cleanliness issues, or there's safety and security issues. Wow, I need to think outside myself about the impact of things larger than myself happening in the world. And how I'm so lucky and fortunate, to be here in the U.S. and have the life that I have. And how can I help other people who are less fortunate?
Right. So when you heard about the quake this year, what was knowing your connection with the book and that the event and the project had come, to fruition, what was your response when you heard about Haiti having this huge quake?
I think my first response was that it was very sad. I know based on the images that I saw that the buildings and the infrastructure was not designed to handle an earthquake. And I knew that there were going to be a lot of people and children and families. Maybe they're not alive anymore, or maybe a parent has died and now there's a child that's now an orphan. And I could already begin to see the images of what was going on down there before I even saw the news. Because I knew, from having been to other countries where they have similar infrastructure challenges, I just knew that it was going to be horrible and that most people would not be prepared for what they saw.
Right. Knowing that we're going to be partnering with Kickstarter to do a self-publish, and that it's people's pledges that are going to kind of fund this book and get it into the hands of people so they can have that visceral experience. What would you want to tell the people that are going to see this video with me speaking and looking at the book images and things like that? What would you want them to know? Why would you want them to be involved in the pledge?
Well, it's interesting because it's almost as if your trip to Haiti and the photographic essay that you've created, and then our collaboration with you on the book design, it's almost as if we've been preparing for this moment, but we didn't know and we didn't want this moment to happen. We would never want something like this to happen. But it's almost like it took all of this hard work and dedication to get to this point. And now we've created something really beautiful and emotional and moving. And it's a perfect opportunity to take something that was created and have it impact the lives of people you don't know. I mean, it's this unbelievable, amazing opportunity to say, oh, okay, I can't go to Haiti and volunteer, or I'm not a doctor in Doctors Without Borders. I can't go and impact the health of these people, or I don't work for a water treatment company, so we can't go clean up the water. But I do have a little bit of money, and I can help in a little way, and a little bit could have such a tremendously huge impact,
Right.